Hi there, Ty Haber here once again, coming to you wanting to talk about linked learning curriculum analysis. Hey, you do have your moments, not many, but you do have them. Hey, I reviewed the Waiting to Inhale integrated unit on tobacco and smoking, and I thought that was pretty cool. I was a smoker once, smoked for 20 years, and so this was particularly interesting to me to go through and learn a little bit about what students were learning about the perils of smoking and tobacco, and along the way learning a little bit about the socioeconomic aspects of it, the history, English language arts, the biology of it, and marketing, and all that kind of cool stuff to do with smoking. And it was pretty interesting. Some of the problems that were talked about were to do with the social economic impacts, the cost, the laws, the biology of smoking, the environmental impact, quitting, influences on culture, and again, communications and marketing. So the first unit was basically sort of the fact-setting part of it. They talked a lot about the history of tobacco, where it came from, laws and regulations, some of the financial costs for individuals, and the usage rate and that kind of stuff, and talked about a little bit of math and how that could apply to some of these issues and problems and get a better understanding of the greater context of things. Section 2 was more about the biology of smoking, the chemicals, the neurotransmitters, the biological effects of smoking, the potential physical effects of both first-hand and second-hand smoking, and the strategies to quit. The third section was about the social and cultural perception of tobacco use in the United States, and it was interesting. It wasn't mentioned in the unit, but I remember seeing clips of the Flintstones and doing commercials for Lucky Strike cigarettes. I thought that was kind of humorous and funny. And as well, so Section 3 went into the persuasive rhetoric, the marketing, the advertising of smoking, how it's cool and that kind of stuff. And I think for kids coming of age, it could give them an interesting perspective of hey, this product that might be harmful to me, somebody's really trying to push me to consume. So that was interesting. How does the curriculum utilize the linked learning lens? Well, I really thought that it wove the question, or the, what's the word I'm looking for? The main question of the unit was about how do we go about implementing laws about smoking in public places. And I was thinking that would get people thinking not only about smoking per se and the laws, but the more in-depth issues about how smoking impacts the person, those around them, and that kind of stuff. And just all the different perspectives of the government, how it regulates tobacco use, the trade, all the different products, and can come at from a lot of different angles and perspectives. So I thought that this was a good example of an issue that could be multifaceted and could be there could be a lot of different avenues of research or problem solving around that. So that was that. And the 4 pillars of linked learning are rigorous academics, career and technical education, work-based learning, and student supports. And I was trying to think of how this unit kind of utilized student supports, and all I could think of was perhaps there was a suggestion for exploring ideas outside of the unit for getting a deeper perspective on stuff like, for example, interviewing people about wanting to quit smoking, or that kind of thing. It was just, there was the rigorous academic part of it, but as well, it provided the opportunity for students to learn about the scientific aspects of smoking and the neurotransmitters, the health aspects of it, if they wanted to take that sort of pathway through life. So there are a lot of different avenues that this kind of the unit utilized the 4 basic precepts of linked learning. How does this curriculum apply problem-based learning? Well, there was the essential question, like I was saying, how should we make decisions about regulating smoking in public places? And I thought the question itself was enough, or big enough of an open-ended sort of problem that students would be able to identify with it and grasp it and try to come up with some solutions that they would want to try and solve. What are some of the aspects that could be adjusted or enhanced or expanded to the extent to which it applies to problem-based learning? Well, I was thinking students could be asked to extend the ideas of this curriculum on other social issues such as drinking, gun ownership, or free speech, for example. But also, if they wanted to extend the unit a little bit more, I think that would be easy enough to expand it not only to smoking, but maybe other nicotine delivery mechanisms, such as electronic cigarettes, vape lounges, and also like the cannabis laws and how that big industry is coming up. And so there's all sorts of social problems that can arise from that. So, yeah. How does the curriculum utilize constructivism? Well, I think that it enables the student to find the problem that they can relate to and take ownership of it, and thus engaging them a little bit more. Like I said, because the issue touches on so many different topic areas, students have a buffet of problems that they can embrace and identify with. The curriculum encourages research and understanding in many areas that approach not only the issue, but in a broader scope, such as law, media, health, history, government, and biology. So they can grab onto whatever they think is important or interesting to them, study it, and build their own sort of learning from addressing whatever issue or problem they're trying to address. Any additional thoughts? Well, there's only hope that education can help people make better choices, but basically humans are flawed. They're always going to make the wrong choices or bad decisions and that kind of stuff. What I got out of the curriculum was it wasn't really saying that smoking is right or wrong, or whether an individual has the right to make their own choices that affect only themselves, but it caused the student to look at the many facets of smoking: the health, the damages to others, the cost to individuals, families, and those that are directly impacted, such as children and society. Hey, ultimately, kids like to experiment and discover. This is a double-edged sword in some cases, right? They may experiment with smoking, but they may experiment to find the cure for cancer. Who knows? Go kids! Anyways, thanks for listening.